Hey, so my name's Jivesh, and I'm a second semester senior who's been recently admitted to college. Super excited about that. But I've also been getting a bunch of questions recently from friends and family, as well as underclassmen from my own high school, on how to get into your dream school and quick tips and tricks that I know of that could give you an edge. So, when I get these questions, I never really know how to answer, so I thought this would be a little bit of an easier way by making this quick video to help you guys out. Again, I want to preface this by saying that all of the information in this video comes from counselors, parents, friends, and most importantly, the internet, really. So just like you guys are doing right now, I went on the internet and did a ton of searching for advice. So I hope I can just do my part in adding to the bunch of information that's out there. Let's get started. So I'm making this video after finishing the college admissions process and getting my results. In the end, I was lucky, and I do mean really lucky, to get into Williams, Yale, Cornell, Brown, MIT, and 2 BSMD programs in Florida. That being said, I am a pretty average kid. Some of my friends are definitely way smarter than I am, and I come from a middle-class family. If my drawing skills in this video indicate anything, I'm far from perfect. With that said, my first tip is to ask everybody, especially those who didn't necessarily quote-unquote succeed in the college process, for help. No one knows exactly what to do, but those who fail can tell you exactly what to avoid. For example, my friend got rejected from his safety school by sending them the wrong application. He gave some sound advice to triple check everything. So, now let's get started. Here's my opinion on how this entire process goes down. Colleges are kind of like those really cute and popular girls who always hang out together. They're intimidating because they seem like an impenetrable wall. What they like and want is anybody's guess, because girls and colleges are complicated. And that one girl that you really like and really want doesn't even seem to know that you exist, but you still want her. So, now your obvious goal should be to separate yourself from all the other guys to get yourself noticed. And once you're noticed, it's important to make yourself desirable. After all, colleges and girls serve their own interests first. Doesn't everybody? So if you can't offer up anything, the relationship simply won't work. So the next question that you need to ask yourself is, how do you establish this goal? How do you get noticed? Well, with the girls, it's probably going to be something like a club or some other social gathering of the sort to try out first. I know this isn't really true, but just roll with it. But here's the problem with going to a club. You're going to have a big burly bouncer standing right in front of that door and asking you to pay up and give you some ID. Without it, you've lost out before the game's even started. So, I'll admit, I don't know much about girls or clubs because I'm a pretty big nerd. That being said, I think any loser can tell you that you gotta be in the game to win. So what's this oh so important club that you need to get into in the college world? It's gonna be the basket of kids that each college has that they seriously consider. If you don't make it into the basket, you're like that poor guy who doesn't have the money to get into the club. And your application is going to get toasted without any serious consideration. And just consider how many apps there are in each of these top schools. It only makes sense. So what's the determining factor that gets you into the quote-unquote club? That'll be your SAT, your ACT, your subject stats, your GPA, and all that other academic jazzy stuff. Each school has a different SAT, ACT, and GPA requirement, so you're going to have to look up what the requirement of the school you want to get into is. All they want to know is if you have the smarts enough to succeed at their school. That being said, If you hit their SAT/GPA requirements, there is absolutely no point in continuing to take those damn SAT tests for that 2400. I can't stress this enough. Once the bouncer says that you can go in, are you going to keep on paying him? Or are you going to go and try to get the girls inside the club where it counts? Once the door is open, the door is open. Start the game. Don't continue paying the bouncer. Why do you care about the bouncer? I know lots of kids who just keep on taking the SAT again and again, wasting their time just to get a perfect score. Now that you're in the door, the girls notice you, and this is when the game really starts. First impressions count for a lot, and the best way to make a great first impression is to be genuinely interesting. You need to find something that you love that's interesting so that you can become interesting as well. One thing that both colleges and girls have in common is that they like it if you have a character. Whatever that character is, it could be surfer bum or master violinist, anything. You just need to be interesting. Alright, so now she's interested and genuinely listening to you. She wants your story and to see if you're worth spending the next 4 years with. Unfortunately, the girls in this analogy have a very short attention span, and you'll only have about 5 to 10 minutes to sell yourself. This means that you don't have time to recount every story about how you learned to walk 2 months early. Nobody cares. So you need to make one really prominent achievement of yours and form a compelling story around it. This achievement can really be anything, but it needs to be big, and it helps if you genuinely believe that it's an integral part of who you are. This is going to be your hook, quote unquote. The more unique and original it is, the better. That being said, make sure it's relevant and shows genuine humanity, passion, love, or something that really just indicates that your heart is still beating. Look for something that's unique and genuinely interesting. The fact that you can stuff 20 cheese balls in your mouth doesn't really show any passion, and nobody's going to really care. It should be something that rises eyebrows because it seems like it's something that you put a lot of effort and time and passion into. For example, something that I think worked for me as a hook was a project that I had in which I converted these ancient scriptures into audiobooks. Now, this isn't necessarily that hard per se, but it is something that I was really interested in. And I was told by the Yale admissions officer that she found it compelling as well.